Hey everybody, so I was supposed to make a video for you guys yesterday. This is a trigger warning. This is not normal content that I usually post. This is dealing with my abuse story, how I left, and also the man who saved my life. This also includes death. And if this is not something that you are into, please click off of this video. Or post a video for you guys yesterday, and I heard some very tragic news that really compelled me to make this video for you guys today, because life is very short, life is very precious, and I found out some very troubling news. I had called my contacts, the JAG officer at Fort Bragg, because I haven't spoken to any of them since September, and usually I get a call from my victim advocate at least monthly, because I am continuing to be supported by the military, and but I hadn't talked to any of the JAG teams since then, and so I had reached out to just let them know the information I heard, and I wanted to speak with them about, you know, what I needed to do as moving forward. And being that I had constant contact with this JAG command at Fort Bragg, so much so that these guys called me every single day for over a year. They honestly have become my friends. And so I had called the JAG officer, and we had very small talk. He was reassuring me of the information that I heard. I didn't need to be concerned, and they, you know, were aware and everything. So as we, I was finishing the conversation, and we were having small talk. He was asking how me and the kids were, and because I haven't spoken to any of them in about 7-8 months. He told me, he said, "I'm sorry to say this, and I know you probably haven't heard, but Captain Smith passed away recently. I just went to his memorial, and I thought that you should know." At first, it didn't hit me right away because, again, I've been so far removed from this situation, because after all of this stuff happened, I was told from everyone at Fort Bragg, go live your life, keep moving forward. So I really, other than therapy and the things that I was doing for healing myself, it didn't really hit me what he said. So I was, you know, very apologetic. I'm so sorry to hear this. But when he said this, it didn't really resonate to me who this man really was to me at the time, because I have been so far removed. Captain Smith was my ex-husband's former commander, and this man, he was very important to me and very pivotal to why I'm sitting here to this day. When I realized all the things that this man did for me and my children, it made me break down. I was completely heartbroken. The type of grief that I felt, I've never felt before. And I called the JAG officer back, and I was just boo-hoo crying, and he, you know, was very supportive, stayed on the phone with me, let me cry it out, we talked it out, and then I got off the phone, and I experienced major grief that I have never felt in my life. And I wanted you guys to know what this man did for me. Back in 2017, we moved to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The intentions of having a brand new life. It was supposed to be a very positive experience. I was promised things would get better, because before then it was not good either. Before we left Virginia, it was not good. I was told that we just need a new environment, everything's going to be okay. Shortly after we got to Fort Bragg, things were not okay. It significantly got worse, and I was very sad and embarrassed, because I didn't know how to get out of this situation. I didn't know how to get home. I didn't know truly how to get out of it. I felt stuck. So I didn't have any control over anything. Financially, I didn't have control. Monies were being spent that I made, but I could not allocate them for anything of my personal use. Literally, I was financially broke. I had no money, even though obviously you guys know I do well for myself, but I did not have control of my salary. I did not have control. So it got very, very bad for me. And I was too embarrassed to ask my parents, family, friends, because I was like, dang, I'm in this situation and I feel stupid and I don't know how to get out of it. Two very important physical incidents happened, and I was hurt to the point where I had to go to physical therapy. And the first commander, he believed me. What happened, he was aware of everything, and they were going to just chapter him completely out. It was not going to be no trial, no court martial. You was just going to get, they had all the paperwork. During that time, me and my ex was separated, and I had a military protective order in place. He was not allowed to contact me. During this process, about a week later, he started to contact me. I was always very protective of him and our marriage. He contacted me, and I fell kind of into the cycle that we know of a toxic relationship. I was convinced that I had to protect him. I was told that I needed to make this better for him so he could retain his career. So I had to lie. I had to lie to the first command to save his career. I don't know if they initially believed me, but I think they were like, okay, everything kind of stopped. The investigations kind of stopped. They released all these measures and said, hey, you got another shot. Go back to your family. Continue your career. The reason why I did lie to protect him and save his career is because I didn't want him to get in trouble. Who wants their husband to get in trouble? Who wants that? And after all that happened and I saved him, he was very apologetic. He promised me that he was going to get the help he needed. It didn't matter about his career. He just wanted to get help. And he was trying to do better, and he promised me he was going to go back through the highest levels of treatment. Because he has been in treatment before, he knew that this would be a career ender in the fact that he would be medically retired. But I didn't care. I didn't care about him not being in the military anymore. I just wanted him to be better, health-wise. A medical retirement was going to be better than being kicked out. So he promised me, hey, now that I'm back on track with work, I'm going to start this process and we're going to get out medically. I'm going to get out medically and we're going to have a good life, and I'm going to make sure that, you know, I'm going to be a better man. These things were promised, and as we continued on with normal life, I'm asking him, hey, what about this with the program that you said you were going to go to? He was like, yes. The new commander signed off on it. And then something happened to where a field problem came up, and he went to this field problem, and he went away for a couple of weeks. And that's when I started YouTube very heavy. That's when all these videos Ray done started to pop off, and I was trying to fill my time with something constructive because I was very, very stressed out, confused, embarrassed, ashamed. It was the number. I was so mentally just gone because I lied to save this person that I loved, and he basically continued on with his normal life like these promises were not made and didn't care. So we continued. Things were okay for a little bit. And then after he came back from that field problem, shortly after that, another thing happened, but I was too embarrassed to say anything. And then another thing happened a week after that, and I was definitely too embarrassed to say anything because I had already lied to the first command to save him. So of course they're not going to believe me. So this is around November, December time frame, guys, in that year, and I was too ashamed. I was so ashamed. I didn't know how to get out of it. I started to volunteer to travel for work. I was in Minnesota for one event. Then I went to St. Louis for another event. I went to Denver, Colorado for another event. Like, I was trying to keep away from the house. But I couldn't, because I have children and my children needed me. And I couldn't just stay away for work. And obviously at the time, my spouse knew that I was trying to stay away from him. Like, I was volunteering to travel all across the country for work, so I did not have to spend time with him. And that is not the way to handle things at all. So I came back probably a couple weeks. It was okay. Things were okay. And then boom, another incident happened. I didn't say anything because, I mean, who's gonna believe me? I'm stuck, don't have no money, don't really have any friends because I didn't want people to understand what was going on with me. I was embarrassed, and he knew I was embarrassed. He knew I was shameful, and I was silenced. I was muted at that point. So the new year came around. We revamped our channel. Another incident happened, and I had begged for us to just have peace in our marriage. And when this person was sober, he was a totally different person than when this person was not sober. And so I tried to start taking back some of my power, and I wanted to start saving some money. I was financially abused for a long time, and I realized going through therapy that I was being financially abused so I could be stuck, so I could feel stuck. And so I started to transfer money, but I kept my name on accounts together, but I transferred money, not significantly, but just $1,000 here, $1,000 there, nothing too much. And it started to get bad because he didn't have control, and he thought I was saving up to leave, which I think I was. And he was scared, and he was like, let's go talk to the chaplain. Let's go get help. But counseling, it didn't help. It really just kind of fueled the situation even more. And because I couldn't tell what was truly going on, because I didn't want him to get in trouble again, I was kind of just quiet, very quiet. And the chaplain obviously is sworn to secrecy, and even if I did tell the chaplain what was going on, he still couldn't tell anyone. Like, I mean, anybody who knows the significant importance of a military chaplain, they can't just go out telling your business, you know. So we go to therapy a couple times, and the therapy was not helping. Matter of fact, I felt even more compelled to tell someone what was going on. And during this time, I just wanted to have one good birthday. I had been with this person for years. Every year we celebrated his birthday. We went all out. And every year I barely got just this person to tell me happy birthday, let alone celebrate. I was absolutely not important. So around this time we talked to the chaplain. My birthday was around January. My birthday's coming up in March, and all I asked him was, hey, can we just please celebrate my birthday? Can I be important this year? Because every year prior to that, my birthday, it was non-existent. He would disappear, or an incident would happen, or he would ignore me completely, walk past me and say, oh, happy birthday. That's kind of how it was. And then he would feel bad or pretend to feel bad, and then I would get a huge gift on our anniversary a month later in April. So the year prior, it was jacked up. The MPs were involved. And then right after that, I got a huge wedding band set because he was making up for ruining another birthday of mine. So around January that year, I begged him. I called him and I begged him. I was like, can I just have one good birthday? Just this year, please. And he was okay with it. He was like, yep, we're going to be good. Everything's going to be good. A week later, I get paid again. I transfer a little bit more money. It was just a couple $100s. And he freaked out. But he was active duty, paratrooper. He was getting ready for a jump, and I called. He called one day in the middle of the day, drunk as a skunk. He had said that he was going to hurt himself. I had contacted Chaplain. I wanted it to be discreet. I didn't want him to get in trouble. And Chaplain got him off the flight line or wherever he was and made sure that he was safe. And he continued on with talking to the chaplain at the time, and I just kind of was lost for words. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know, like, day and night. I was just existing. I was looking at walls. I was just trying to exist. So a week later, I get another call from him in the middle of the day. He was drunk as a skunk again, threatened a lot of things, and said, you know what, F you and F your birthday. I said, cool. And I was tired. That was kind of the last straw for me, because I didn't want him to end up coming home and it was going to be another physical incident. And so I called the chaplain in a panic, and I told the chaplain everything that was been going on for months. And I told him, I was like, the command is not going to believe me because I have lied to save him for so long. I feel embarrassed. My integrity is gone. I feel muted. I don't even feel like a human being. And the chaplain assured me, he was like, look, this is the number you need to call. Please call this person and tell him everything that you just told me, ma'am. He begged me to. This person was Captain Smith. I called him in a panic, shaking and crying. And this man has never heard my voice a day in my life. He didn't know who I was. And he listened. He believed everything that I told him. He immediately got my spouse at the time and took him to the mental ward on Fort Bragg. After that, the commander came to my house and he talked to me, trying to get more information. He had filed a military protective order. He immediately started to put things in place. During this time, my ex was in the mental ward. And I didn't know which way was up. The commander called me again and said, hey, I need you to go to the Soldier Center. I need you to get in contact with victim advocacy. They will help me help you. So that's what I did. I listened to Captain Smith. I went up there, got a victim advocate, and I was shaking. Like, I didn't really understand how damaged I was until sitting in that victim advocate office. And they are heaven sent. Heaven sent. I felt like they were yelling at me. They were like, I sat in their office and I didn't even know how to think for myself. They were like, you need to do this. Jennifer, focus. Do this. Call this number. Jennifer, focus. Call your bank. Jennifer, focus. Do this. And I was getting angry, and I just started crying because I just was like, how did I get this deep in? How did I get this lost? Like, the woman that I am today, I had no idea how I got here. That low of a point in my life. I didn't have any money. I had only, I think, saved maybe $1,500 at that time, and I didn't have enough money to move. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. And my victim advocate was like, I'm gonna call the commander. We've been in contact. We're gonna get a solution for you. So a couple days later, sitting in the house shaking. All this time he's still in the hospital. That commander got him to stay and get treatment for 21 days in that hospital. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. This one man. And the commander called me late at night, and he said, Miss Jennifer, we're gonna move you. I'm gonna get some orders and we are going to move you. All I need you to do is go back up to your victim advocate. They're gonna walk you through the process. They cut orders for me like I was a soldier, and they moved me. And my victim advocate held my hand through the whole process. We went to finance, transportation. All this happened in less than 3 days, guys. During this time, even though there was MPOs in place, my ex was trying to get people to reach out to me. His friends would call. He would be three-way in the hospital trying to listen to anything he could find out about what was going on with me. And I was just so broken. I didn't have anybody there. The next few days, y'all saw the process. I went to court to get a protective order against him. And this commander stopped his day, just him, and came up to that court and stood with me in that civilian courtroom to get a protective order. After that court hearing, me and the commander talked for a little bit. He said, keep moving forward. We got you. Keep moving forward. The next day, the Packers come. The commander and the command sergeant major come to my house. They're in my house taking pictures of all the damages in my home, trying to talk to me to just normalize the unnormal situation. And the commander told me he was going to be back the next day to get the keys and help me and my kids get on the highway to go home. What you didn't see in that video, my safe move video, I couldn't show you the end because the end was this man, this honorable man coming to my house, who is a commander of the 82nd Airborne Corps in charge of thousands of lives, came to my house. And at around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, he helped me load the last of the stuff that the Packers could not pack because they couldn't pack certain things. And what people don't understand is commanders have a lot of responsibilities on their plate, and they have other people to make stuff happen for them because they are held to a very high standard. He did not have to come to my house. He did not have to do it. He didn't have to believe me. After me lying to the first command, this commander could have chalked it up and be like, yeah, this is crazy girl, whatever. That he didn't have to do everything that he did for me. He went far and beyond his call of duty for me and my children to make sure we were safe and make sure that we could move forward from this and live the best life we could. This commander tried to help my ex-husband as well. He was just a good man. What's significant about this commander is, again, he had thousands of troops he was responsible for, and he took weeks and days out of his time from his family, from his actual military duty, to help me. He is the reason why I am here today. My children are here today. And that's why I was in such grief, because this man went far and beyond the call of duty to save my life. He was at the court-martial. He testified at the court-martial. And my last text message from this man was, "Happy Mother's Day, Jennifer." And I said a simple thanks. Good people are very hard to find in this world these days. And for a man who could be so important to so many people, stopped his life to take care of me, a person he did not know. And some may say he was just doing his job. No, he did more than his job. Me and my children are safe. My life continued, and I was able to move forward. I am grateful to you, Captain Raymond Smith, for everything that you did for me and my children. You are the reason why we were here. You are the reason why I am here. I had no one in Fort Bragg. All I had was you and a couple of victim advocates that had my back. That's all I had. My parents, they weren't physically there. You and my victims advocates who are still there for me right now. I salute you, sir, and I wanted to tell my story to let people know that there are good people in this world. And I appreciate you for being there for me. And I hope one day that your family knows how significant you were in my life. So, I salute you, sir. Thank you for saving my life. And everybody needs to know everything that you did for me and my children. Rest in peace.